Hi, love. Welcome back to the Big Dreamers Bible podcast. I'm your host, Tanya Jane, and today I'm going to be diving into all things of what the hell went down at the SOD event, why I'm obsessed with in-person experiences now, how that weekend changed my damn life and how I see myself. But also, I really want to share with you guys some of the biggest breakthroughs from the day, some of the highlights from the day, some of the patterns that I noticed my clients navigating because I know if you're watching this, you're a high achiever pursuing extraordinary success. You want the best for yourself. You know what you're capable of. And I guarantee what I'm going to share with you, some of the breakthroughs my clients are having, you and some of the experiences they were having around their self-image, how they feel in their body, how they feel pursuing success, and just like some limiting narratives are going to really resonate with you. So I was like, let's talk about it. Let's talk about what the hell went down because it was so amazing. It was so amazing. Okay, let me find my notes because I don't even know where they're at. Okay, here we go. You guys. So the night before, let me just tell you the tea. Let me just give you the BTS. So the night before the actual SOD event, I had a VIP dinner with the Extraordinary Mastermind. Now, this isn't the first time I've done a VIP dinner with my mastermind clients. This is actually my third one. There will be another one later on this year. We do two VIP dinners per year, and they're just such a fucking blast. And I started doing this last year with my what round was that? I lost count. I think I started doing it the first time in round three and then round four. And then now with the Extraordinary Mastermind, it's just a rolling mastermind. We've like gone beyond the rounds. We're just here. We're here to stay. There is no rounds. So I had a VIP dinner with them and I took them to one of my favorite restaurants. And this restaurant is like a franchise, I guess you could say. Kind of. There's like, well, I don't know if it's a franchise, but there's like four different locations in Los Angeles. And I love this restaurant. I think I go to this restaurant like I don't know, three times a month. Like I'm obsessed with this restaurant. And so I took my clients there. They have like the best food ever. They have the yummiest cocktails. And so on the Friday, we did the VIP dinner with the Extraordinary Mastermind. Now, this is always such a vibe because we're having dinner, we're having cocktails, we're meeting each other in person. Like when you work with incredible women for so long, it feels like you know them your entire life. It feels like you know them so deeply. But then when you meet in person, you're like, wait, we actually have never met. That's fucking insane. That's crazy. So it's always just powerful to be in person. But what I wanted to share with you is one of my mastermind clients, because we were eating, we were drinking, and we were talking about, we were all sharing like they were getting coaching. They were getting coaching. My client said it's like riffs in real life. So we were doing like power sessions with each of them and like really fire conversations at the dinner. And one of my clients was like, I'd love to know what made you like decide to do an SOD event? Like what made you decide to do an event? Because the SOD event isn't actually a part of the deliverables for my clients, even though it was included for them. I literally just decided to do it. Like it actually wasn't something that they were promised. It wasn't something that was a part of their package, even though it ended up being like I included it for them. I literally spent thousands for them to have like this amazing day. Because I was like, they deserve it. They deserve it. But she was basically asking me why. Like, what made you decide to do that? And my answer to her was, honestly, I don't know. I don't really know why I decided to do this. Now, bear with me. I'll tell you where this is leading. So, I usually make decisions from a very focused, intentional space. I pretty much always know why I'm doing something. I know the intention behind it and why I'm deciding to do it. I know what I want to get from it. Like I know what I'm doing to a degree. But with this one, with this event, the reason why this felt different was because it kind of felt like the idea of doing an SID event thought me instead of me thinking this idea and being like, this is what I'm doing. This is why I'm doing it. Here's the intention. It was like, I just got this overwhelming feeling of like, we need to be in person. We need to be in person. We need to be in person. And like, for me, I'm like, well, like, I don't have an in-person experience planned. And then my brain, my intuition, if you will, the guidance was like, well, plan one. And I was like, okay, like, but this feels stretchy and this feels scary. Now I need to put down thousands of dollars to secure this spot. And like, oh my God, am I really doing this? Why am I doing this? And then I just couldn't just like, I can't explain it besides I just felt like I needed to do it. I felt like I needed to do it. And not from a place of scarcity. It wasn't like, oh my God, I feel like I need to do this in my business unless otherwise I won't feel good. No, no, no. Not like that. Like the feeling you get when someone's like, how did you know? How did you know that was the love of your life? And you're like, I don't know, I just felt it. That kind of a feeling, okay? Where you're just like, I don't know, like I just feel like this is what I'm meant to do right now. I feel like this is something that I'm being called to do. And it's bigger than me. And I said to my clients, I'm really excited because I was sharing this with my mentor and I was like, I'm excited to see what unfolds from this day because even though, yeah, I'm planning it, I'm creating it, I'm leading it, yes, yes, yes. And also, I know how this feels for me. And I feel like this whole thing has been more guidance, more than me being like at the front leading the charge. It's been like, okay, do this, plan this, let's go here, let's do that. So I'm like, I wonder what this is going to unfold into and what this is going to become because I don't really know why I was called to do this. Now I do. Boy, do I understand now. So I knew that that day I was planning a life-changing day for my clients. Every part of my brain cells was going into creating an experience for them that was going to take them through a very specific flow of like emotions, thoughts, perspectives, feelings, breakthroughs, aha moments, visualizations, shifting their energetic state, all the way through to strategizing, offer suites, pathways, sales pathways, and looking at their business model, right? So I already knew I'm going to take them on this journey. They're going to fucking transform. They're going to walk out of this room on a different timeline. This is a life and business makeover. I'm curating it literally so that they walk out of this room on like as a completely different woman. And succeeded, I will say. But what I did not know was going to happen was I was also going to walk out of that room a completely different person. And even though I think like consciously, I was like, yeah, I'm probably going to have some breakthroughs on my own. I was so overly focused on my clients and their day and making sure, I had everything planned for the day that I kind of forgot about like my experience of this experience. And something changed in me, you guys. Something clicked in me. I remember like it was probably around half towards like the end of the middle section. So, sorry, not middle, towards the end of the morning section. So, leading towards like the middle of the day before we wrapped up for our first, like our lunch break. And I was like staring at everyone and like witnessing their breakthroughs. And I'm staring at them, staring back at me and seeing all of their faces and me sitting in this couch in this beautiful hotel in Los Angeles with this business that I created out of thin air and these big SOD letters. And I'm like, this is really happening and this is real life. And I just made this up out of thin air one day of like the School of Dreams. Wouldn't that be cool? And here I am sitting in this hotel, leading this event, leading this experience. And there's my client staring at me. And it just like made all of this so real. And I think for so many online entrepreneurs, you are building these empires, you're leading these massive movements, you're creating these experiences for your online communities, but it's literally just you in your office every day. Like, this is it. If you're watching the YouTube, this is my life. It's me in here, just hanging out in my office, being like, woo, crossed a big milestone today, just in my office. Being like, woo, seven-figure business owner now, whoop, whoop, climbing up. Still just me in my office. Like my physical reality doesn't necessarily reflect, oh, I'm leading all of these fucking women. But my like the virtual reality of it is like SOD is this thing, it's this community, it's this experience. There's so much in there, there's so much life in there, there's so much energy in there, there's so much transformation in there, there's people in there, but like on a day-to-day basis, I'm just me in my office. And I think because there is such a disconnect in physical reality, what I see every single day versus what I like the milestones and the real reality of what I'm actually creating, it can get a little distorted. And self-image is so important. If you don't have the self-image locked in, like you will not allow yourself the expansion that you are actually experiencing. And most importantly, like, let me reframe that. You won't allow yourself to experience the expansion that's actually taking place as real life and integrate it as a part of who you know yourself to be. Meaning your self-image won't be able to like shift dramatically because nothing around you is changing. You're still you, waking up where you went to sleep in the jammies you wore before, like wearing the same outfit you've been wearing, like nothing's actually changing, but everything's changing, but nothing's changing, but everything's changing. And that's a trippy experience when you're an online business owner because nothing's changing, but while simultaneously everything's changing. And I think it was like so cool to have this in-person experience a month after we crossed seven figures in the business because that was a milestone in itself. But I shared how I felt when we crossed the seven figures in like an earlier podcast, and I was like, low key, it was underwhelming. I thought like I thought I would like get a massive parade or like I don't know, feel just like I ascended to like a new level of life, and I was just like, woo! It was just a regular Sunday afternoon. Like it was so underwhelming. Yet I crossed a massive milestone. And then a month later to actually be leading an in-person experience and just giving myself the gift of really seeing with my fucking eyeballs what I have created, I didn't realize how much I needed that. I really didn't. I didn't realize. Like, I'm proud of myself, but I didn't realize how much I need, like, that did something to me. I'm telling you, it did something to me. It unlocked something inside of me. And this is why I love in-person events. I've been to many in-person experiences, okay? I've just never really, I haven't led one. I've led some dinners. I led one retreat in 2023 with like my mastermind clients, but like that was intimate. It was the same vibe as like a dinner. I mean, actually it wasn't, but it wasn't an event. I've never done an event. I've been to many events. I've gone to many in-person experiences. I've gone to VIP dinners. I've gone to you name it. I've done it, and I leave those spaces a different person. So I know the power that in-person experiences hold, and the reason why they have so much power is like you're there in person, and very similar to what I'm sharing from my lens, but like when you're a client going to an in-person experience, and I'm sure you have been to many, if you're even listening to this podcast, I'm sure you've been to some or one or something where you've gone somewhere for your own expansion. And what happens is you dedicate hours, if not days, sometimes if you're at a retreat or something, to diving deep into your thoughts and yourself and having really expansive conversations and talking about yourself and talking about your success and talking about your goals. And yeah, you do that. You do that in mentorship. I do that with my clients all the time. But there's something different about being surrounded by women in person and you're the client and you're at lunch with your peers and you're telling them your goals, your vision in person. You're actively speaking like this about yourself, and they reflect back to you what they see in you. And all of a sudden the way you're the way you see yourself changes because you're looking at yourself through their eyes, and something happens. Like something happens at in-person experiences that is really hard to explain. And I really believe it's because online, even though online is amazing, like what a gift that we get to do this. What a gift we get to learn, grow, and evolve virtually without having to leave our homes. That's fucking insane. And I'm not saying it should go anywhere because I love the freedom. I love sitting in my office in sweats and recording this podcast on a random fucking Tuesday. Like, what a blessing. What a blessing. And when you're around people, something shifts in the way you see yourself. Something shifts in the way you feel about yourself. You're reflecting their energy. They're mirroring back to you how you feel about yourself. And that is a really empowering experience. And you just can't really get that online because even if you have a fire coaching session sometimes, and I said this to my clients at the event, I was like, you're going to have massive breakthroughs today. You are going to literally feel yourself expand into a new timeline because it's not that the breakthroughs we have online is bad. They're fucking awesome. But after you have a breakthrough, after you're on a Zoom call, you don't just like today, you're not going to be able to just close your laptop and go pick up your kids from school. Or you're not going to just be able to close your laptop and be like, oh, what am I doing for dinner? Got to take the dogs out. Oh, got to do this, got to do that. Oh, got a client call of my own. Like when we're in our day to day and going through the online space and our online coaching and being supported by our online mentors and everything like that, it's like you're still in your day and there's a lot of other things going on. But when you take the time to put yourself in a different environment, dedicate a whole day to like diving deep into your growth and personal expansion, there's nowhere to run. There's nowhere to hide. You've just got to sit there and fucking let the breakthrough continue to compound momentum. Like, and that's why it happened so quickly. So anyway, I'm on like the biggest fucking tangent. Haven't even got into what I want to talk about today, but this event changed the way that I see myself. And I'm so grateful for that because I didn't realize I needed that, but it did something to me. Still processing. And then right after I was like, let's do another one. Let's do another. Obviously, yes, there will be more SOD events. Like this is not going anywhere. The power of that day was tremendous and in-person experiences are here to stay in my world. And I am planning a trip to Spain with one of my best friends in June. and I'm spending a few days in London before because my brother and my sister-in-law live in London. And I was like, you know what? I should hold a VIP day in London. Fuck it, I'm going to do that while I'm over there. And I put it up literally yesterday afternoon. I was like, there's only 5 spots. We're doing a VIP brunch. All right. We're going to have yummy food, delicious drinks, life-changing coaching in this vibey city. You're going to be surrounded by cool women. And I'm like, only 5 spots. Okay. Because, it's like a brunch. And I am going to be coaching you guys all day. So I put up 5 spots, and literally by 7:30 a.m. the next morning, so like 12 hours later, we only have 1 spot left. It's insane. Like, I actually can't believe how quickly those spots were being sold. So as of this recording right now, which is Tuesday, so 2 days before it airs, there is 1 spot available. If you are in Europe, UK, on that side of the world, and you want to come for a VIP brunch, DM me. I don't know if the spot is still there. I feel like we may sell out maybe today in like less than 24 hours. But you can always try. So if you're listening to this, you're like, what? Oh my God, I need to be there. Then this is going to be happening in June 11th in London, VIP brunch. Yeah, it's going to be fucking awesome. So there is 1 spot left. You can DM me for that. Okay, let's get into some of the breakthroughs I want to share with you, if I haven't already. Shared a lot already. So one of the main breakthroughs that I saw my clients keep having, I'm going to tell you 2 of them. Wait, what are my notes? Okay, I only have 2 more things to tell you. Okay, great. I was like, I am really on a tangent right now, but no, I'm right on track. So I want to talk to you about what I kept seeing, a pattern I kept noticing in some of my clients. When they would come up for hot seat coaching, they would go into a story with some limiting beliefs that made them feel a certain type of way, that attached them to a self-image, that made them feel like they would go into a story. They would tell me why they feel the way they feel about their business, about their money, about their life, yada, yada, yada. And it was almost like nearly every single one of them that would come up and talk to me about this. They were telling a story. And because they're my clients, okay, you got to understand, like, this was the SOD event. These are clients I've been working with for months, some years, okay? So I know a lot about them. I know their success. I know their wins. I know where they're at. I know their challenges. I know what's going on. So I had the benefit of having a bit more of a broader overview on their life when they would come up for some hot seat coaching. Now, they go into the story. And nearly every single one of them would begin to tell a story that I was like, this is old. Like, this story is so outdated. That's not even who you are anymore. That's not even what's happening anymore. Like, this is mind blowing. One of my clients literally was like, this was at the extraordinary, the VIP dinner. One of my clients was like, I just don't know if I'm cut out for this. Like, I just don't know if I'm good enough to be putting my offers out there in this way, to price this way. Like, she was like having like a self-image kind of crisis mode of like, who am I? Who am I to be selling these offers, to be leading a woman through a transformation of like her mindset, her life, and yada, yada, yada. Meanwhile, she's literally had the most fucking insane transformation of her own life. She's led herself through multiple up levels, quantum leaps. Like, she's very fucking qualified. Her credentials are next level. Like, no one has the life and the story that she has and has overcome crazy shit that she has. I mean, everyone has their own unique one, but hers is hers. And she's fucking done it. And she literally couldn't see that. And I was like, and she's at this, she's literally telling me this with so much conviction, being like, I just don't think that, like, I'm meant, like, I want to do this. I know I can do this, but like, truly though, am I capable of that? Who am I to do that? And she's so convinced. She's so fucking convinced by this story. And I literally was like, didn't you just make a sale, like one of your biggest sales, like 3 days ago? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, how much was that? And she was like, I think it was like $6,500 or $7,000. Someone paid her $7,000 for her coaching. And I was like, this was 3 days ago. And that client, the way I'm speaking right now on this podcast is literally the way I was speaking to her, because I was glitching trying to understand where her question was coming from, because I was like, are we not talking about the same person? Are you talking about you? Because I don't know who you're talking about. I don't know who's what this conversation is about. Is it about you? Because that's not who you are. That's not what your reality is. And then she was like, oh yeah, she did pay me like $7,000 a couple of days ago. I did just have my highest cash. I did just make my biggest sale ever a couple of days ago, and she's less than a year into her business. And then I was like, okay, let's stay here for a second. That client re-signed at that price point. But she's re-signed twice with you. So add up how much this client has paid you right now. And it was over $10,000. And I was like, you've been paid over five figures from one client, and you are sitting here at a dinner being like, I just don't know, who am I? Who am I to do this? And I'm like, bitch, you're doing it. Like, what are we talking about? And the reason why I wanted to share this with you is because it wasn't just her. This happened like 3 to 4 times with multiple clients being stuck in a narrative where they are not allowing themselves to catch up to the new identity, the new reality, and the new success and the new expansion, the new normal that they have fucking created. And I like was floored, and watching her face too, like it was baffling. Like when I was like, but didn't so you've been paid over five figures from one client? Her You could see the things unlocking in her brain. She was like, it was like new self-image. Old self-image was like dissolving, fading away. New self-image was locking, and she was like, oh my God, I think I have. And then I was like, okay, new mantra for you. People pay me five figures. I get paid thousands for the work that I do because you do. We're not even doing a Delulu right now. We're not even pretending to do an act as if. And I'm an act as if fan, okay? I love a good act as if, but you don't even need to do that. This is actually real life. And this is what I wanted to share with you all because it came up so many times in so many different ways for my clients in so many different areas of their life where they're stuck in a narrative that is so fucking outdated, and not only outdated, just not even accurate. Like, not even accurate. And I want you to look at your current internal narrative right now around how you see yourself, how you see business, how you see your life, how you see finances. And I want you to feel into, is the current way that I'm feeling about myself around how successful you are, who you are, the life you have, the everything, is the way you feel about you accurately representing the results you are actively getting right now. And I think this is gonna like stop you dead in your tracks because this is what this is success energetics work. This is energetic stamina. This is emotional mastery at its finest. What's crazy is this is what's holding most people back. An internal narrative based off a past story, belief, identity that they aren't even in anymore. And the craziest part, because you're high achievers, is you will still succeed with all that bullshit. Clearly, my client was succeeding. It's not even like it's going to hold you back from like actually experiencing the success. But I'll tell you what it will hold you back from. It will hold you back from genuinely feeling like you've ever made it. If you don't catch up to this new identity, you will always not feel enough. Which leads me to my second breakthrough and highlight from the day was one of my clients. We went into a massive deep dive on this, and this came up a few times too, around this feeling of like, it's not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough. I don't have enough money. I didn't sign enough clients. I didn't do enough here. I haven't posted enough. I haven't done this enough. I haven't done enough. I don't have enough email subscribers. I don't have enough followers. And it's like this concept, this idea, this deep, deep connection to a frequency of where you are and who you are and how you're doing right now is just foundational, just not enough. And that there's this constant feeling of you're behind. You're not where you should be, and that makes you feel less than. And now the goal is pedestaled, and now you're here looking up to the goal, being like, one day maybe I'll measure up to someone who is enough. And here's the craziest part is like, for all of the clients who felt like this, they are succeeding. They are making money. They are signing clients. They are doing extremely well and still feeling this frequency of it's not enough anyway. It's not enough. And what happens, I saw one of my clients do this at when we were like doing a deep dive, and she literally was like, currently she's in launch, and she was like, masterclass went great, signups are happening, sales calls are being booked, and she was like, still finding ways to be like, yeah, but it's not enough. Things aren't enough. Things aren't enough. Things aren't enough. And it's like, you could have the best circumstances, but when you have a frequency that's so alive and active and familiar, that makes you genuinely feel and identify as someone who just doesn't have enough of whatever it may be, It doesn't matter how much success you create or how much money you create or who signs up with you. That frequency of it's not enough, is deep fucking rooted and it will override the actual experience you're having. So even if you succeed, make the money, sign the clients, you will somehow still be looking for how you didn't measure up and how it actually wasn't enough. And this has to stop. It has to stop. And this was one of the biggest highlights from the day because she wasn't the only one. It was this feeling of I don't have enough time. I ran out of time today. I didn't do enough today. It's fucking everywhere. And I told my clients, I was like, this isn't something that's isolated to your business. This isn't something that's isolated to your success. This is a frequency that is alive and active and a part of your identity. So your reticular activating system is genuinely looking nonstop for things to prove back to you and validate this story of you not being enough today. And we need to catch that and be like, lies. That is absolute horse shit. And we need to reprogram it. And the way that I help my clients do this is by telling them, you cannot get beyond that, beyond where you're at. Okay, stay with me. You have to start where you are. You cannot create more enoughness if you're still feeling not enough in the now. And what people do is be like, all right, well, I know how I'm going to do it. I'm going to sign some more clients. I know how I'm going to do it. I'm going to focus on making more money. Yes, do all of that. And that's not the source of you being enough. That's what you were doing before. That's why you constantly don't feel like enough because you're putting all the power into things outside of you, into your external circumstances. So you never feel like enough. So then you're constantly chasing. So then no matter how much you succeed, you're like, more, I need more. I need more because where I'm at is not enough. And it's like this vicious fucking cycle. And I fucking get it. I was on that hamster wheel for a decade and it's exhausting. Okay. So how do we change it? We've got to start with where we're at. We've got to realize right now as who we are, where we are in our life, how we are living our life, everything right now in our life. We've got to fucking accept it. And we've got to change the way we feel about it. And right now, we've got to genuinely realize that we are fundamentally enough as the truth of the universe. Like, this isn't just me being like, you're enough. I'm telling you right now, this is the truth of like God, soul, spirit, universe. Who you are, where you're at right now is enough. Because the concept of you're not enough in whatever capacity you want to play with that concept in is a lie. It's a lie you've been telling yourself for a very long time. And if it's a lie, what's the opposite of that lie? Is then you are, if you being not enough is a lie, then what's the truth? It's you are enough. So the only way we can change this is by telling the truth and bringing us and flipping that experience in real time by starting with where we are, learning how to feel enough where we are, independent of attaching our enoughness to something outside of us, and genuinely sitting in your office, at your house, in your car, laying in your bed, and genuinely feeling the feeling of where I'm at right now is enough. Can I just try it on? Can I just try on this belief for just a few seconds? Just a few seconds. Let's just try it on. I said this to my clients so many times. Try it on like a new pair of jeans. Just put them on. Just walk around the store. See if you vibe with it. You don't have to stick with it forever, but you know, you're going to want to. But you don't have to. Just like, I'll humor you for now. Try it on like a new pair of jeans, new belief. Walk around. Feel how you feel in it. Check yourself out in the mirror and be like, I look kind of good in these. And you try on these new beliefs literally like you're trying on a brand new pair of jeans and you just let it sink in. You just vibe into it. How would that feel if I actually did feel like I was enough? Now, what happens is we start with where we are. We start feeling I'm enough here. And now we have a solid foundation that we build on top of. Without this solid foundation, if you're not watching this on YouTube, you're missing out. Without this solid foundation, then you are trying to become more than enough, create more than enough, have more than enough, receive more than enough with no foundation. Can you see foundation? No foundation, which means empty hole, which means there's nothing that's ever going to stick and you're always going to feel like it wasn't enough. And then that's exhausting. And that's not what we do in my world. So this was one of the other biggest breakthroughs of the day. And I think I'm going to stop there because I'm basically doing a free masterclass right now, which I didn't intend on doing, but you know, Your girl can't help it. She's a passionate bitch. Okay. I love this work so much. And I clearly was talking about it all fucking weekend. And I know that every high achieving woman navigates that. And if you're like, not me, I don't believe you. Okay. Because if you genuinely don't feel like that, maybe what we're talking about is very different in regards to what, being a high achiever, obsessed with the dream, pursuing it like it's fucking everything you're here to do. There's always this kind of tension between where you're at, where you want to be, especially when you're obsessed with where you want to be. There is this tension, and we've got to learn how to neutralize that tension or use that tension to our advantage. And this is what we do in my world. This is SOD. This is energetic stamina. This is emotional mastery. This is success energetics. And then adding strategy on top of that is a piece of fucking cake. Okay. The strategy is the cherry on top, because any strategy will work when you have a solid foundation and your identity is actually aligned to who you want to be, and the internal narrative that you're telling yourself is actually aligned to who you are. Then you're fucking unstoppable. Okay. You're unstoppable. So this is my podcast today. I'm trying to think if there was anything else I needed to tell you. Oh, I am about to announce a brand new experience in my world, separate from the VIP brunch. That was just, an add-on that I dropped in this week. I realized that it's been nearly 5 months. Like, now that we're moving into May, it's been nearly 5 months since I held a Telegram experience where I dropped daily fucking riffs and I blow your fucking mind with voice notes and riffs and audios that literally transform the way you see yourself, think about your business, and feel into your life. And one's coming, and it's probably going to be my favorite one ever yet. My favorite one to date. But I say that about all of them, but that's just because, they are. It's true. So get excited. Keep your eyes peeled on my Instagram stories, because I probably will start teasing it, I don't know, any day now. Today. Check out my stories. Maybe it's up there right now, but it'll definitely be up there very, very soon, because I got so much to talk about and I've got codes for you. So something is coming in my world. All right, you guys, I love you all. If you enjoyed this podcast episode, let me know. Share it to your IG story. Tag me. Share with me your biggest breakthroughs. Let me know if this hit for you, if this resonated with you. And then, of course, if you were at the SOD event, let me know if you're like, damn, I needed to hear this again. I love you all. I will see you next week.